Daemons of the Shadow Realm was originally published in 2021 with an adaptation from Studio Bones airing for the spring 2026 season. The story follows Yudu, a young hunter from a small mountain village, and his twin sister Asa, when one day an event changes their lives forever. Rocking the very foundations of everything he thought he knew, Yudu must navigate the world with his sister, unraveling the secrets to their lives that have been hidden from them for years. If that sounds kind of vague, yeah, that was intentional. This series benefits from knowing less about it going in. That being said, if you want my honest, spoiler-free quick take, I think this is an intriguing story from the same author that brought us Full Metal Alchemist, and that alone makes me confident that this series is worth sticking with. I have a lot of questions, the world has a lot of nuances worth dissecting, but we're early enough in the story where I'm not sure where it's quite going to lead. That's my quick take, and if you stick around, I'll jump more into spoilers, but let this be your warning. If you want to go into this show blind, I suggest coming back after watching a few episodes. So if you're still here, I assume that you don't mind the spoilers. And with that, let's talk about the show. From the moment you see contrails in the sky, I sort of suspected this show to have a The Village type twist to it, an agrarian society that secretly takes place within modernity, kept hidden for one reason or another. Honestly, I sort of expected to stay in that agrarian society a bit longer before the other shoe dropped, but it is what it is, and what I'm left with now are questions. This might sound like a complaint, but trust me, it's not. But as of this writing, we are 5 episodes into this show, and I still have no idea where this thing is heading. It's a lot of stuff to take in. The jump to modern society, learning about Daemons and their place in the world, what the twins have to do with the world at large, why was the village kept separated for so long. If I had to describe the show in a single word, it would be overwhelming. Lots of pieces have started to move, but I'm not quite grounded in where things are heading. Like I said, that isn't a bad thing. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's intentional. Yudu is our point of view character, and we're learning about the world at the same time he does. Of course, it would be disorienting. And I want to sit with that confusion for a bit, really try to empathize with Yudu as a character. What does this feeling say about him going forward? Well, for one thing, he's a character that hasn't stopped moving. He's been dragged from one situation to the next, learning all kinds of things about his world. He hasn't had the time to sit down and take it all in. I think he'd benefit from taking a step back and trying to piece everything together. His life, his sister, the Kagemori clan. There's just so much information that Yudu hasn't processed yet. And like I said, I think that's intentional. Yudu is so focused on his own goals that he can't look at the larger picture around him. If he has a character flaw right now, that's what it is, jumping into action before getting a full picture of the situation. We see him do that a couple of times, deciding to go out to find his sister without telling Dero or Hana, jumping at the chance to confront Asa when he thinks he's found her. To me, this all speaks to a character flaw of not slowing down, and we as the audience experience that as well. There isn't any time for the narrative to explain what's going on, it's just go, go, go. I have a feeling that at some point a lot of things will be revealed to us, maybe all at once or maybe not, but I can't imagine that this breakneck pace will last for very much longer. Maybe there is a point where Yudu will break trying to take in as much as he can about the world. Either way, he will need to learn the lesson to slow down and gather his thoughts. There's just so much about this world that he doesn't have a grasp on yet. And as a result, neither do we. We as the audience haven't had the time to simmer with these characters, this plot, and I'm hoping that at some point the show will actually take the time to explain itself. We're still very early into the series though, so I have faith in this story to say something whole and complete. But those are just my quick thoughts on the show. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. I'll be sticking with this one because I have the utmost faith in Arakawa to deliver. As always, thanks to my patrons for making videos like this possible, and if you want to support the channel, you can do so for as little as $1. But that's it from me on this quick take. I'll see you in the next one. Shoots.